Oh, how long have we been waiting for this? The dads are back. Isshin and Ryūken, they're finally coming into the fray. Like, this has really been bugging me. These were the two things that I was just like, Kubo, you have to do this in this arc. Like, these two people, they were pivotal in this arc. They had to be in it. And it's been bugging me this whole time because, like, Ichigo's dad, the main character's dad, and Uryu's dad, like one of the only Quincy's, they haven't been present in this arc, and I've been wondering, it's an arc about Quincy's, yet Ryuken's not in it, and neither is Ichigo's dad, so I'm so happy Kubo had finally done it. And I feel like Kubo's just been hitting it to us, like, this whole chapter title was like father, and the whole emphasis on like Juha Bach saying like I'm your father, and Ichigo like you're not my father. It's just been like Kubo's just hitting at us, being like don't worry, like Isshin's coming, Ryūken, they're on their way, like just wait, just take it easy. So this chapter was awesome. Now I want to talk straight onto the fathers right now because I can't contain the hype. I'll talk about everything else after that, but let's get straight into the awesomeness that is the Ryūken and Isshin. Now their appearance, the way that they arrived is beautiful. It was just an awesome cliffhanger, and the thing is, I'm not sure where they arrived because it looked like it was a transition of places. So one, they could have arrived at the Gate of the Sun, where like Basby, and Liloto and Giselle, where they arrived, or they could have arrived where Uryu is fighting Hashira, because that's where it seemed like it was going. Or they could be arriving near to where Juha Bach and Ichigo and all they are. Now, my opinion is, I think they've arrived at the Gate of the Sun. And now, I think that, it's going to be, they're going to split up. So it'll be Isshin going over to Ichigo, and Ryūken going over to help out, Uryu. And I hope it's like that. Part of me wanted to see, an Isshin-Ryūken tag team, but I feel like it'll be better, because it's kind of important to see how with Ichigo and Uryu, they're both struggling against their battles, and they do need some help. And I'm sure that Ryūken will come in and just lay the smack down on Hashira. It's actually going to be nasty. It's honestly going to be mad. Like, we're going to see Vollstanding from freaking Ryūken, and that would be awesome to see, because Ryūken, he's been a boss since day one. Like when he first arrived in, and then he shot Uryu, and he was just like, yeah, I had to shoot 90 degrees and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see Ryūken versus Hashira. I think I imagined that happening. Like I was just like, that would be such an awesome fight for them two to happen. Now, it may be a tag team like Ryūken and Uryu fighting against Hashira, but you know Uryu's and Ryūken's relationship. Like, Ryūken's just a joker. He just doesn't care about anybody. It's hilarious. Like, obviously, deep down, he does love his family, but he's just like salty as. It's unbelievable. It's so funny to see that. But now with Isshin, I think Isshin will obviously go over and help Ichigo. So that may mean, one, we will learn more about, Ongetsu. We might see Isshin's Bankai. Like, I'm more excited for Isshin's Bankai than Ichigo, and that says something. Like, I can't wait to see more of Isshin, because this would be such good for story, especially like we never saw like Isshin's reaction of Misaki's death. Now, if Isshin's gonna be facing the man who did kill his wife, I want to be seeing some anger. I want to see some emotions and proper brawl. So people were thinking like it's too early to be the final fight, and I do believe that too. So I do think the Ichigo and Juha Bach, I think that's going to get paused a bit, and it's going to be Isshin versus Juha Bach. I don't think it'll be a tag team, but I do think it'll be a tag team between Uryu Ryūken versus Hashira. And it's so freaking hype. Now, Ryūken said something which got me like unbelievably excited. He said that his father was exiled from like the War World. Now that is okay. That means like, fam, we need to get a flashback. We have to get a flashback, because one, there's 3 flashbacks we need, and I'm not gonna say the last one. I'm gonna say the last one later on in the review. But 2 is the 1,000-Year Blood War, and this one is the whole thing within the 1,000-Year Blood War. 1,000 years ago, we need to see Isshin and like Juha and Isshin and his allegiance to the War World, because there's been theories of how maybe not Isshin, sorry, what's his name? The grandfather. How could I forget his name? Does it begin with an R? Okay, so there's Ryūken, there's Uryu. Is it an S? Soken? Is it Soken? I think it's Soken Ishida. So yeah, we need to see Soken Ishida. We need to see his allegiance to, maybe he was a past Enra. Maybe he was, I don't know, one of like Juha Bach's right-hand man. Because we know this is this chapter that he was exiled. Now it makes us think the reason for his exile was obviously because the only thing that we know about Soken's character is that he wanted like Shinigami and Quincy in harmony. He wanted both of them to work it out. He wanted them to be not in conflict, but them in peace. And I'm guessing that obviously Juha Bach, didn't agree with that, so maybe that's what caused his exile. So if he took the Sun Gate, I'm just wondering where else did he take? Like he took the key to get into like transport. He took in those explosive things to give to Eri. Like my man Soken, he has a plan. Like the man is dead, but he had plans. He worked it out. He reminds me of Urahara a bit. I'm just like, gosh, this is madness. So I'm really excited. I hope we see some flashbacks on the whole exile thing. I really want more on the whole the Ishida family and their lineage and all that kind of stuff. That would be awesome to see. Now, with those two, I'm hyped to see what's going to happen next. And now let's move on to the next part of the chapter. So Byakuya said something which got me extremely excited. Now, Byakuya said that thing is near Yuachi's level. That thing must be Gerard. And it can't, this is what makes me think it has to be Gerard. Because it can't be Ichigo, because if it was Ichigo, Byakuya would have obviously referred, he'd be like, Kurosaki's near Yuachi's level and all that kind of thing. So, he's referring to Gerard. Gerard has reached a level of Yuachi's strength, meaning that is Gerard the strongest elite Sturmritter? Even though Lil Barrow was obviously, he was the leader of the Schutzstaffel, maybe Gerard's the strongest, because he's reached Juha Bach's level. That is mad, and I believe in that. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, that's just a cop-out, that's just, Kuba lying or Byakuya exaggerating. Nah, I think Gerard has reached that level of strength, so it makes me think, who's going to take him out? And you know who can only take him out? Has to be Aizen. Not even the Shinji Bankai holification can save them now. We need Aizen to come in. Possibly we may even need like tag team. That's why I feel like Byakuya obviously did take Renji and Ryuken to go away, because at first I was just like, what, is Byakuya and Toshiro, are they going to try and get at it? And even if they went 100%, they still can't take out Gerard, in my opinion. That's why I think only Aizen can, or all the remaining Shinigami, they do like a massive tag team. All Bankai's going at it. So I'm really excited to see that. I think I said in my previous review of just how like Gerard and Juha Bach, like the whole parallel between them. I think I said it in a couple of videos back, but either way, I'm really excited now for Gerard's character. Like, it's just building up his character so much more, and I'm really glad that he's not been killed off right now yet, because I'm so interested to see what future battles are going to unfold with him. Now, I really like, what I liked about this chapter, we got a bit more exposition on the Shinigamis, on the whole Soul Reaper Academy and all that kind of thing, and it was basically, in this chapter, we find out that their true main of fighting, like their true, not like their desire, but what's their, why they fight is for their friends and family. Now, that is awesome, because one, it just obviously links back to, Ichigo and Renji, and just all of that. It just gives me so much nostalgia from like back in Soul Society days, like when they were fighting and they gave us their reasons to fight. And it's so heavily it so heavily is similar to Ichigo's level of drive. Like Ichigo, he's just doing this to protect his friends and protect his family, and we see that's just the basis of what Soul Reaper should be doing, and it's really cool to see that. And that's why Byakuya sent across Renji and Ryuken. Now, the fact that Renji and Ryuken are going over to Ichigo, I'm not confused on why they're going, because I don't think that Renji and Ryuken's addition is going to make them, with Ichigo and Orihime, make them equal in power to Juha Bach. I don't think that. So I'm wondering, why is Kubo wanting Renji and Ryuken to go up there? My only thoughts is, are we going to be seeing a future death between? Is there going to be a death? Is this like a death flag that just got raised? Who knows? If it is, because if you think it out, I think one of the reasons that Renji and Ryuken have been sent up there is for resolve, and that's for Ichigo's resolve. Because if you've seen this chapter, in the past couple of chapters, ever since Juha Bach brought up Ichigo's mum, his mental stability has just decreased. Ichigo, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's acting on impulse right now. And this is bad, because this will make him lose the fight. He's not thinking straight right now. So if Renji and Ryuken come up, they'll probably try and strengthen Ichigo's resolve. They'll make Ichigo think properly and be like, oh yeah, let me get my head back in the game or something like this. Or maybe they're going to try in and join in with the fight. And maybe one of them get heavily injured, or maybe one of them dies. Now, the thing is, of Renji, Ryuken, or Orihime, they're fan favourite characters. So it'll be, if they did die, it'll be like not deja vu again, but it would be the same thing with Kubo trying to kill off Byakuya. Like, these guys are fan favorite characters, so if they do die, Kubo would get fan backlash crazy. So, if they do die, the only character I think who's the most possible of dying is Renji, in my opinion. Because I haven't checked the poll, so I don't know off by heart, but judging by the popularity, I'd say that the three popular in the room would be, if it's all four of them, the least popular would be Renji. And I'd say that Ryuken and Orihime are above Renji in popularity in just the whole fan base. That is my opinion. I may be wrong. I'm just speculating right now, but maybe are they going over there? Maybe Kubo just raised the death flag. We do not know. But either way, this chapter was awesome. Now, Kubo likes to give us hints, and I'm hoping this is a hint that he done in this chapter. Because in one of the pages, we see a little panel of rain. Now, that may be a hint that Kubo's gonna, we're gonna get more depth on the whole flashback of Misaki's death. That would be awesome. Maybe we can see it from a whole another viewpoint, or maybe there's something more to uncover that we do not know. For example, maybe something that Juha Bach done whilst Misaki died. Because the only thing we've seen of Misaki's death, we've only seen it from Raw. We haven't actually seen Misaki actually dying. All we've seen is just like having her death being narrated. In the flashback when, what was it, everything but the rain. Yeah, it wasn't her death was narrated at that point. That's when Isshin was talking about it. So we literally have not seen her death. Maybe we'll see it in the next couple of chapters. That would be cool. Obviously that would be even good for flashback. This is why I'm saying this would be good for story development. Not just for Ichigo, but also for Isshin. Because Isshin, not that I know of, this may be the first time that Isshin has actually seen Juha Bach. So obviously there's some things that are gonna some emotions are going to get welled up and all that kind of stuff, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. So I'm really excited for this chapter. This chapter was beautiful. I'm so hyped for next week. Like, the dads are back. Isshin and Ryuken. My boys, like, Isshin Bankai, please, and Ryuken Vollstanding. That's all I want, Kubo. Just make that happen. Alright, so move thoughts comment below. Wait for this chapter. Do you think that Gerard is near Yuachi's level? If so, who do you think is actually going to be able to take out Gerard? In my opinion, I can only think Aizen. Like, the man needs to get off his damn chair. And this chapter, what did you think of it with we got a bit more, what's the word? Coverage on Ichigo's and Juha Bach's clash. Now, with Juha Bach, like, Ichigo's getting bruises, we're seeing his face getting cut out by the shadows, so I'm really hyped to see more of Juha Bach's power. And Kubo's really doing great with, like, suspense and building up the villainy that is Juha Bach. So tell me your thoughts, comment below. Shinigami Sam, subscribe for weekly reviews of Bleach, and I'll see you next week for that greatness. Peace, guys. See ya.